What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 48 of our Cincinnati Bengals franchise, and today we are kicking this episode off with scouting. So we have the Week 10 matchup against the Colts here a little bit later, but we're going to dig into some scouting and try to get some storylines about some of the custom recruits pointed out, because a lot of you guys might not have read some of the comments in the comment section about each and everyone's recruits, and then we can kind of see what the competition is looking like from the CPU generated players. So again, I've looked through the list, and if I missed you, post in the comments below and let me add you in, because once the playoffs start, there's no going back. So, and then we'll have to wait till next season to get you into the draft class. So, all right, let's kick it off here with the quarterbacks. We have Lucien Lawrence, a quarterback, 6'6", 255 out of Northwestern University. He's got some throw power, throw accuracy, and throw strength. It's actually pronounced Lucien. He's a French-born player that played football in France all the way through high school, where he broke passing records and sack records on defense as defensive end. So that explains the 6'6", 255 mark. He also applied to Northwestern University, and when he was accepted, he was a walk-on freshman year. And the walk-on freshman year, he won the starting quarterback job. He was then offered a scholarship and played the rest of collegiate career for the Wildcats. He finished second in the Heisman Trophy his senior year. Some scouts who describe him as the next Ben Roethlisberger. Ooh. Pretty interesting, right? So we're going to see where he lands. I'm not too interested in Lucien. I'm not interested in it. I'm not in the market for a quarterback. I know that we'll probably be needing to sign somebody to be a backup in case Andy Dalton doesn't want to re-sign, and unless we're really comfortable with Tim Brady being our new quarterback for next season. Again, hey, if we don't make the playoffs this year, then you know exactly what's going to happen. Andy Dalton is out, right? We're sitting at a pretty good spot, but yeah, we need to really hanker down, make the playoffs, and we'll think about it later. We'll go from there later. All right, so the next quarterback on the board, Nathan Kern, 6'3", 212 out of the Ohio State University. I hate saying that, though. Hate saying it. Pretty good quarterback, it seems like. But, the thing about him, he's going to look like he's going to get drafted in the 6th round. But seeing as how quarterbacks always go off the board early, they are projecting him to go into the 3rd. Next up, we kind of skipped him, but we have Daryl, I'm going to say it again, I don't know if it's pronounced correctly, but Potize. Daryl Potize II, 6'1", 195. He's a scrambling quarterback, and he was out of the University of Alabama. So backstory. He got an offer from Florida State and Auburn. He decided to walk on to Bama. During a practice before the season, his 40 time was 4.3. Nick Saban was impressed and surprised by his speed, and Daryl earned a scholarship. In his junior year, the starter Tua Tagovailoa was injured in the first playoff game, came in against Ohio State, threw for 376 yards, 3,000 right? And basically, I love the created storylines that you guys have, but hey, we gotta have a little bit of realism, right? But hey, whatever. Daryl Potize II, very good quarterback, athletic freak, right? His break sack is an A-, B+ throw power, B+ throw on the run. He can make all the throws. He's gonna be a pretty solid guy. I like his opportunity, but not for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's gonna have to be with somebody else, and we'll find out who that's gonna be. Two pretty good running backs here. Cameron Conner out of Alabama, more of a power type of guy, 5'10", 225. Yeah, he's pretty powerful. He's got a low center of gravity. Gotta like the trucking, gotta like the stiff arm and the break tackle. He's gonna be a pretty good prospect, but again, with Joe Mixon being re-signed, and we also have Kemi Martin, not looking to draft a running back this season unless it's like really late. But even then, you don't really have a lot of running backs here to choose from. A lot of 5th round type of players. I know that we're looking at possibly a late guy, but we'll have to do some scouting here to see, if anybody kind of fits the mold of what we're looking for. But again, Cameron Conner probably not on our board. Anthony Piscotty actually played linebacker in college at Colorado, but he's a pretty athletic guy too. It's 6'3", 210. Kind of tall for a running back, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. Might be more of a receiving type of running back. Might be a type of wide receiver-ish back. I like those type of those running backs. They're more like that utility role. So we'll see where Piscotty lands. We'll see where Cameron Conner lands and see what is in store for their career. Looking at some wide receivers here. Wembley Smith, the 4th. Out of North Texas, Gavin Pompey and Manny Darvish. 3 guys here at the wideout position that look pretty solid. They look like they're going to be pretty good. First round for Wembley Smith, second round for Gavin Pompey, and Manny Darvish out of Michigan State, a second rounder. So the spectacular catch for Manny Darvish, pretty solid, B+, B-, B- for deep route and catching. Catching for Gavin Pompey, B in catching, deep routes a B. Gavin Pompey looks like he's going to be pretty solid as well. The interesting thing we need to find out is his speed. What is his speed going to be once the combine hits? Wembley Smith, a deep threat. He looks like he might be a pretty good prospect too. He's actually 3rd in the wide receiving position. So he's at 6'2". He's the tallest guy. Actually, no, excuse me. Manny Darvish is the tallest guy at that 6'3" deep threat. But Wembley Smith at 6'2", you know, you can hold your own at 6'2" at wide receiver. 6 feet, pretty small. Kind of small at wide receiver there. But, you know, he's got a little bit of weight to him too, so that should be okay. Pretty decent prospect here, guys. 6'5", 246, possession, tight end. Douglas Kirkland. Now, I know Tyler Kroft has been really good, and he signed that contract extension along with CJ Uzomah. But looking at the number 1 tight end in the draft, Douglas Kirkland out of Washington State might be our pick, honestly. He's a B in catching, B in short, C+ in catch traffic. I don't know, guys. I mean, we're always looking for new weapons on offense, and honestly, that might be the one spot that's the weakest as far as offensive weapons go, would be tight end. Now, when you look at wide receiver, we're very, very extremely deep. John Ross, Tyler Boyd, Desmond Dallas, AJ Green, you know, Martavis Bryant. It doesn't stop, right? So tight end might be the position that we focus on, because you never know if this player here could perform better, could become better than Tyler Kroft ever will be, right? So this is something we might need to play with, is taking a tight end, either Douglas Kirkland, or we need to take one here in the 2nd or the 3rd. So at left tackle, we have a 6'7", 321-pound player here out of Ohio State, of course. A lot of you guys are from Ohio, I would assume, because everybody's a fan here of the Bengals, right? And you guys are all in love with Ohio State. It sucks. It hurts me. Hurts me as a Michigan fan to even be catering to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But really good player here. 3rd round projected, but he's looking like a 2nd round talent. So this might be a player that you want to take. He's good in the run. He's got a B in the run. And he's an agile left tackle. So maybe that means he can move a little bit, you know? I mean, some of our tackle spots here are really old. We did take Isaiah Prince 2 years ago at left tackle out of Ohio State. And we have been mostly focused on the guard positions next to Billy Price. So a lot of up the middle guys. We've been getting our sacks from the outside, so from the edge rushers. And seeing as how Nate Solder's getting up there, he's entering, I think, his last year of his contract. And Lane Johnson is definitely old on the older scale. Maybe Isaiah Prince isn't going to be the answer at left tackle. Maybe we need to take another left tackle here from Ohio State, and hopefully this might be the player that we take, Lucas Alexander. And looking at some other players here, we'll have to do a little bit more scouting as the season goes on. We only have 22 scouting points left, but you know, this guy here, Frederick Johnson out of Ole Miss always seems to put out really good offensive linemen to the pros. He might be a good player here as a power left tackle, 6'7", 336. So this guy is a big boy. He's definitely a big boy. Let's see, though, if we've got 11 points left to spend here, so let's go ahead and do this. You can actually fully scout him, and you know, I was wrong. He's a 2nd round projection, but 4th round talent. So yeah, maybe this is the player. Lucas Alexander might be our take here a little bit later in the 2nd round. Another custom recruit, David Anderson, a left guard, 6'3", 328, out of Houston. Going to be a pretty good prospect here. Again, I don't have any scouting points to go after him and see what he can do, but you know, hey, look at that left guard spot right now. It's a D. It's rated a D right now, and I think that's mostly because of injuries and just overall depth. So we need to focus on some guards, some younger guards. I know that we drafted Bo Benshaw And the right guard position, which we can actually go look at right now. We can actually go take a look here. Let's take a look. Right guard right now is, Kevin Johnson, Taylor Posey. So again, it's that right guard spot because Ben Shaw is our guy. But Posey's been pulling his weight. He's been all right there at left guard. I mean, we could technically put him at right guard if he keeps performing here because, Caleb Johnson's not a long-term solution. So we might need to focus on guard here again. So I'll actually finish out the scouting. I will finish out the scouting after Week 10 action here against the Colts. So might as well get right into it, guys. 5-3 Bengals against 3-5 Colts. And honestly, it's going to be, in my opinion, it might be a tough test. Now, I don't want to give you guys the impression that, I'm really worried about a 3-5 Colts team. But, I mean, let's be honest here. Going on the road in the NFL, games are hard to win in the first place, especially going up against a quarterback like Andrew Luck. They've got some more offensive weapons based off offseason moves. Kenyon Drake was signed last season. They got Marlon Mack still. They drafted Andrew Fritsch out of Army. We know what he's been able to do so far this season. So it seems like the Colts are giving Andrew Luck a lot of weapons. Now, I don't know exactly the schedule that they've played, but obviously going up against a team with their backs up against the wall, fighting for their season lives, this is kind of a trap game. So we got to be kind of careful here. And as we can see, Andrew Luck's numbers are going to be popping up here on the screen, and he's not having too bad of a season. 18 touchdowns, 5 picks, about 2,100 yards right now. And we were just talking about the running backs, Jesse Bates, a little bit too heavy in pursuit, but Adam Humphries is going to get a penalty flag thrown on him for a block in the back against Aqib Talib. And as Kenyon Drake takes the football into the end zone for a touchdown, it is definitely going to get that call for blocking the back against Humphries. So it's actually going to set the Colts back for 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line here. And here is a catch to Corey Grant. I think that's Corey Grant or Ryan Grant. I must be mistaken there, but they're going to get 5. So 2nd and 5 here, and a little handoff to Kenyon Drake, and he's making Sean Williams miss on the juke move. So it sets up 1st and 10, 10:24 here left to go in the first quarter. So they're chewing a little bit of clock here, 9:53, and after that stop in the backfield, it's going to be 2nd and 12, and Andrew Luck trying to fire to, looks like Humphries out there down the right seam, but he's going to get sacked. Now it's going to be 3rd and 20 as Marlon Mack takes this little draw play up the middle, and they're going to have to settle for 3 points. So Andy Dalton and the Bengals offense kind of picking it up here. You guys saw Joe Mixon's numbers earlier in the pregame, and this offense is really taking the next step. Now, Andy Dalton is still a little bit inaccurate. He makes some weird-looking throws sometimes. You guys saw that throw out there to Martavis Bryant on just a little simple drag route that just could not get completed. And they're going to have to give the football back to the Colts. And now Andrew Luck is starting to sling it, guys. Sean Williams busted coverage there. Jesse Bates could not get further back to stop the crossing route. It's going to be a 35-yard touchdown to Adam Humphries. And like I said before, guys, this is a kind of a trap game. And we're down 10-0 with 3 minutes in the first quarter, right? It's not out of reach, but on 2 possessions for the Colts, they have 2 scores. So here is Dalton rolling to the left, and he actually finds CJ Uzoma up the middle for a first down. Dalton now 3 of 5 or 3 of 6 for 50 yards. Only 50% completion percentage right now. 3rd and goal at the 8, and we're going to fire it deep. Look at that. We were firing for John Ross, and he threw it at the goalposts. Not even close, guys. So we're also going to have to settle for a field goal. It's going to be 10-3 in this game here. And here is a catch there from Luck. Luck is now 6 of 6, and it's going to get a stop. So good job by the Bengals defense, and Joe Mixon only going to pick up about 2. We're going to have to punt the football away to the Colts now, and it's starting to get a little bit dicier because our offense has not been able to move the ball effectively all game long. But here is a really good throw by Dalton. He's 5 of 13, so I don't know if you guys caught that on the upper ticker there for the stats updates, but he's 5 of 13. So we're going to have to use Mixon a little bit more. 7 rushes for 46 yards right there. And
we get a sack. So Emmanuel Ogbah, and he's been a thorn in our side since he was a Cleveland Brown, and we're going to also settle for another field goal. So it's going to be 10-6 right now, but William Jackson going to come up with an interception. So he's still balling, guys. Dating back from last season where he had 8 interceptions, he's going to pick up this interception here. And now in the second quarter, with about 1:06 left to go, Croft is going to pick up about 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3. Pass complete here to Martavis Bryant. Makes one-man miss. Had a block from A.J. Green. And C.J. Uzoma up there in the second level with a nice block, but fails to get out of bounds, so Marvin Lewis promptly calls that timeout. We could take the lead here, guys, with a touchdown going up 13-10, but look at this pressure by Emmanuel Ogbah, just pushing the tackle right there into Andy Dalton. Just not good, not a good situation, but Mixon's going to make this catch. We are going to get some positive yardage there, move a little bit closer. It's going to be 3rd and 13. Lewis calls a timeout. 18 seconds to go here, and honestly, we're just looking. We like these drag routes. We love these drag routes, but we're going to actually shoot for that drag route there to A.J. Green, and he's going to tiptoe near the pylon. He's going to actually get pushed out at the 6-yard line. So we're in a good spot here with 11 seconds. We can just throw it out of bounds if nothing's open. You just can't take a sack here. You don't want to burn that timeout, but drags always seem to work in this game, so calling that drag to our speedster, John Ross, and he's going to find himself a touchdown at the end of the quarter, end of the half. So we are now up 13-10, and honestly, I like the way that our offense has responded. I like the way our defense has responded as well. We had that 10-0 early hole, and I think a lot of things are looking up here for us, guys. 2nd and 5 here, 13-10, started third quarter, and whoop! Joe Mixon going to make a man miss, and take a look at this, guys. He's going to run down that left sideline, and there is nobody going to catch him. And that's going to be a touchdown. That's going to be 6 for your Cincinnati Bengals. 62 yards rushing on that play for Joe Mixon, and it's going to be 20-0. Let's go ahead and jump to Cincinnati's next possession with 5 minutes and 29 seconds here left to go. And Dalton feeling a little bit of pressure on this play action. He's going to fire deep, takes a big hit, and Martavis Bryant. Oh, dude, you got to make a good play. You got to make a play here. You got to step up. I know I ripped Dalton for his accuracy issues, but guys, that play's got to be made. That was right over top of Martavis Bryant, and guys, that was a catchable ball in my opinion. So you got to have it. You got to get that thing done. So let's take a look at the Colts on offense. They're going to have to settle for a field goal, so it's going to be 20-13. And look at Mixon is at it again, guys. I was just going to say nobody's going to be able to catch him, but take a look at that. Spears going to catch him. He's got 12 attempts on 163 yards right now. It's just absolutely insane. So again, guys, that revamped offensive line for us has just been killing it. It's been a strength for us all season long. We've got to get Mixon more involved here as the rest of the season goes on. He's already up to 1,000 yards rushing, plus all those big plays that he just had. So he's having himself a heck of a season so far this year in 2021. 3rd and inches play, and we get Kenyon Drake with a first down. So 3rd and 9. It looked like we actually were going to get a stop there. You guys saw Sean Williams coming in and making a really nice play on the receiver, catching the football. And I really thought we were gonna stop him from scoring here, but not going to happen as we give up a touchdown. And now it's going to be 23-20 here late in the fourth quarter, about 1:55 left to go. And Mixon powering through, and he's going to pick up a first down. And now the Colts are starting to use their timeouts. And guys, they are now out of timeouts. And here's Kemi Martin picking up a crucial first down on 3rd and 2. He's got 6 rushes for 31. I always would like to sprinkle him in and let you guys see that he is involved, and he did get some carries, and that one was a very, very big carry right there, picking up that first down. So 23-20, guys, Bengals win this one on the road. And you know what? It was a little bit too close for comfort, in my opinion. 212 passing yards, 218 rushing yards. So absolutely killing it right now in that department. Got to keep using it. Got to keep going to our strengths. Kind of limit Dalton's decision making and his ability to throw. Like, that's just something that we gotta continue to find opportunities to get Mixon and Martin involved more than using Dalton. in my opinion. So 545 total yards, no turnovers. Offense gave up the ball 0 times. So that's obviously a very good recipe for success. 17 of, was that 36? That's not good. So we can see on 15 attempts, 187 yards for Joe Mixon, 3 receptions for 23. So he just absolutely balled out today. Nate Solder against Emmanuel Ogbah, not a good matchup, guys. And we see that Jaquan Johnson did his thing per the usual with 10 tackles, had himself a very, very good game there. And we also saw that interception by William Jackson. Gotta love it. Waldeck was also 3 for 3. So let's go ahead and jump ahead to next week, and we see that the Browns and the Bengals are leading the way here for the AFC North. The Browns are 5-2-2, and it looks like that's who they tied against was the Jacksonville Jaguars, going 4-4-1. So they do have a tie there against the Jags. The Dolphins and the Jets, they must have tied against each other, I'm assuming. The Jets are 0-8-1. 0-8-1. So I'm not sure what Sam Darnold is doing here, and I believe this is going to be his 3rd or 4th season in the NFL. Like, just absolutely crazy to see that he's just not getting it done. So NFC North, the Lions are 3-6. The Pack are 7-2. They look like they're going to really just carry that momentum in for the rest of the year. I mean, 7-2, that's a really, really good record at this point. Buccaneers 5-4, and then we got kind of a logjam between the Saints, Falcons, and Panthers at 4-5. NFC East seems to be a logjam between 3 teams. The Eagles, yet again, are at the bottom. Rams, 8-1. So between the Rams and the Packers, it seems like those are the cream of the crop for the NFC. So I promised you guys I was going to show you your defensive players here in scouting, and we can see that Paul Wilkerson out of Louisville, 2nd rounder, B+ power moves, B- awareness, and B- tackling. It's going to be a pretty good player. I think I would probably end up drafting him. Because I feel like that's a very valuable player to get, probably late first, early second. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that and try to swing that, but we need to start looking at defensive tackle as a big time get, because we know that Geno Atkins, even though he signed that extension, it's going to be a position of need here in the near future. Tanner Sharp, middle linebacker. I don't know if I'm going to be able to spend an early round pick on Tanner Sharp, only specifically because we do have Bernardrick McKinney signed up for, I think, 4 or 5 more seasons. So middle linebacker is not too much of a concern for me, but you never know. You never know what's going to be available later on in the draft. I know he's a first-round talent. He's a first-round projection, but we've seen a lot of those types of players drop and fall. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens with Tanner Sharp out of Vanderbilt. So looking at this guy, too, out of Nebraska, David Angulo, a B tackle, B pursuit, B- block shedding. Honestly, it looks like Tanner Sharp might be a better middle linebacker than even the number 1 middle linebacker. Not too much here going on the outsides. We also have LaMarcus Singlefield, 1st rounder out of Missouri, and nobody else that I'm too interested in. Again, you got Malik Jefferson playing really well. You've got Deron Lee, who's kind of being sprinkled in a little bit. Vontez Burfict. I feel like he's a constant guy that we talk about in this franchise series is possibly leaving, or we just don't know what's going to happen to him. He might retire. Obviously, a lot to think about with Vontez. So the corners, we got Pierce Hinton, Samuel Heasley, Levi Craig, and Sonata. So a lot of corners that we could possibly take here in the first few rounds and in the late rounds. Again, I always like to draft corners. I think that's a position of minor need for us, but if you can get a big-time shutdown type of corner that can help William Jackson. I know we spent some picks last season and 2 seasons ago getting Sheffield, and there was another player as well that have actually panned out really, really well. But you can't have too many defensive backs in today's NFL when it's really, really pass happy. So that's actually going to be it for today's episode for your Cincinnati Bengals franchise. I will see you guys next Sunday at about 11 a.m. So this will be obviously after the Super Bowl. And speaking of the Super Bowl, let me know who you guys got in the comment section below. Do you guys have the Rams? Do you have the Patriots? Me personally, you guys know me by now. I am a Patriots guy. I've always been a Patriots guy ask my brother, ask anybody who knows me. Not sure how you would do that because you don't really have their contact info. But anyway, regardless, I've always been a Pats guy. So obviously I'm rooting for them to win. I want Tom Brady to get yet another one, to be able to put Super Bowl rings on 2 hands, which would be nice. But yeah, if you want my honest opinion, guys, I think he's done. I think he's retiring after this season. I've been following this team since 1997. Okay, so Drew Bledsoe, those Troy Brown. I mean, I was a Patriots guy, right? Ever since then, and I don't know. I've been following Brady's career throughout the whole thing, and I think this is it, man. I think it all lines up to him retiring if they win. If they don't win, I think he's going to keep going and try to get that Super Bowl. But I think if he wins, I think that's it. Gronk is possibly retiring. You got Edelman he's getting older. I think just the drama that's been kind of percolating out of that situation, out of that Patriots locker room with Belichick and Kraft and, the old guard. And I think that things are changing in New England a little bit. I'm going to go on record. I'm going to go on record and say that I think he's done after the Super Bowl if they win. And it might not happen immediately, but maybe in the summer he comes out and he says that, hey, I'm just getting a little too old for it. I spend more time with my family. My family's getting older. And yeah, man, I think that he might be done. So I'd love to know what you guys' thoughts are. Post them in the comment section below, and I will make sure to read them. And also, if you guys want me to do a Madden 19 Patriots Rams Super Bowl simulation, I'd be more than happy to do it. I would upload it pretty much right before the Super Bowl begins at 6:30. I think it's at 6:30. But yeah, I would love to do that. Let me know how many people would like to see that, and I'll be more than happy to do it. But by the way, shout out for those of you guys that want to know what I'm doing for the Super Bowl. Me and my brother are actually having a little bit of a halftime show, so we would like you guys to come on by. If you guys did not see that notification in our NCAA football team builder comments, in the comment section, a pinned comment, we posted that we would be doing a halftime show, and I think that would be awesome for you guys to join in. I'm not going to tell you guys what we're going to do, but it is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a live stream. We will be doing something relative to gaming, and it's going to be pretty fun. So I can't wait to show you guys what that's all about. So it'll be during the halftime show. I don't know what time exactly that's going to be, but, make sure that you're hanging out with us. Make sure you're hanging out with us if you don't want to watch Maroon 5 or anybody that's going to be performing, because God knows that that's going to be terrible. So I'll see you guys in the next upload on Sunday or in the live stream during the halftime show. I'll see you guys then. As always, peace.